Welcome back to Why Walking Matters, the Science Explained. I'm Tatiana, your host. If you're a new listener, welcome to the podcast. And if you're a loyal listener, welcome back. Last time on Why Walking Matters, we explored what to do after a walk to build strength. We talked about how a few simple exercises like squats, step ups, glute bridges, push ups, and planks can help maintain muscle, support bone health, and keep us moving well as we age. But strength training isn't the only way to get more from your walking routine. Today, we're shifting our focus from building strength to maintaining mobility. Because while strong muscles help us move, flexible muscles and healthy joints help us move comfortably and efficiently. So once you've finished your walk, should you stretch? Can stretching help prevent soreness? Does it improve flexibility? And what does the science actually say about the benefits of stretching after a walk? Let's find out. First, let's recall why walking is one of the best things you can do for your health. Walking is often called the perfect exercise because it's accessible, low impact, free, and suitable for almost all fitness levels. Research shows regular walking can improve cardiovascular health, lower blood pressure, improve blood sugar regulation, reduce the risk of chronic disease, support mental health, improve sleep quality, and increase longevity. Walking also strengthens the muscles used for daily movement while improving endurance and energy levels. And according to the US Physical Activity Guidelines, regular walking contributes significantly to overall health and can reduce the risk of numerous chronic conditions. What happens to your body during a walk? As you walk, blood flow increases, your heart rate rises, muscles repeatedly contract, and joints move through their natural range of motion. The muscles most involved include your calves, hamstrings, quadriceps, hip flexors, and glutes. And depending on terrain, pace, and distance, some muscles can become tight or fatigued. That's where stretching may help. From the National Institute of Health, the effectiveness of post exercise stretching in short term and delayed recovery of strength, range of motion, and delayed onset muscle soreness, a systematic review and meta analysis of randomized controlled trials. Background: post exercise stretching is commonly prescribed for improving recovery of strength and range of motion and diminishing delayed onset muscle soreness after physical exertion. However, the question remains if post exercise stretching is better for recovery than other post exercise modalities. The objective was to provide a systematic review and meta analysis of supervised, randomized, controlled trials on the effects of post exercise stretching on short term, that's less than 1 hour after exercise, and delayed, for example, greater than 24-hour recovery markers, in comparison with passive recovery or alternative recovery methods, for example, low intensity cycling. From 17,050 records retrieved, 11 RCTs were included for qualitative analyses and 10 for meta analyses. There were 229 participants, 17 to 38 years, mostly males. The exercise protocols varied between studies, example, cycling and strength training. Post exercise stretching included static stretching, passive stretching, and proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, which is an advanced stretching and rehabilitation technique that combines passive stretching with isometric muscle contractions. Passive recovery, example rest, was used as comparator in 8 studies with additional recovery protocols, including low intensity cycling or running, massage, and cold water immersion. Risk of bias was high in about 70% of the studies. Between group comparisons showed no effect of post exercise stretching on strength recovery when compared to passive recovery. In addition, no effect of post exercise stretching on 24, 48, or 72-hour post exercise delayed onset muscular soreness was noted when compared to passive recovery. Conclusion: there wasn't sufficient statistical evidence to reject the null hypothesis that stretching and passive recovery have equivalent influence on recovery. Data is scarce, heterogeneous, and confidence in cumulative evidence is very low. Future research should address the limitations highlighted in our review to allow for more informed recommendations. For now, evidence-based recommendations on whether post-exercise stretching should be applied for the purposes of recovery should be avoided, as the insufficient data that is available does not support reported claims. From womenagingbetter.com, how important is stretching after walking? Many of us understand the importance of walking regularly to improve our health, but few realize the significance of stretching once we're done with our walk. When we use our muscles for any activity, we're contracting them. That means we're literally shortening them, which creates the tightness we feel in our muscles. If we don't stretch, the muscles stay in this tight, shortened position, and over time, many will end up suffering from some sort of discomfort, cramping, or pain in your body as a result. We don't always realize this cause and effect phenomenon because we walk all the time and usually don't have any problems. If you're walking for fitness, however, meaning you're deliberately taking a walk and moving continuously for 20 minutes or more, your body will benefit from stretching. Stretching after a walk doesn't need to take much time. If you stretch the major muscles used while walking, your quads, which is the front top of your legs, calves, back bottom of your legs, and hamstring, top back of your leg, you'll also end up with a great stretch for your low back in the process. And from health.harvard.edu, the importance of stretching. You may think of stretching as something performed only by runners or gymnasts, but we all need to stretch in order to protect our mobility and independence. A lot of people don't understand that stretching has to happen on a regular basis. Ideally, it should be daily. Stretching keeps the muscles flexible and healthy, and we need that flexibility to maintain a range of motion in the joints. Without it, the muscles shorten and become tight. Then, when you call on the muscles for activity, they're unable to extend all the way. That puts you at risk for joint pain, strains, and muscle damage. For example, sitting in a chair all day results in tight hamstrings in the back of the thigh. That can make it harder to extend your leg or straighten your knee all the way, which inhibits walking. Likewise, when tight muscles are suddenly called on for a strenuous activity that stretches them, such as playing tennis, they may become damaged from suddenly being stretched. Injured muscles may not be strong enough to support the joints, which can lead to joint injury. Regular stretching keeps muscles long, lean, and flexible, and this means that exertion won't put too much force on the muscle itself. Healthy muscles also help a person with balance problems avoid falls. So, listeners, research shows stretching is not a magic solution for soreness. Stretching alone does not significantly prevent delayed onset muscle soreness. However, stretching can help improve flexibility, maintain range of motion, promote body awareness, encourage relaxation, and support long-term mobility. Think of stretching as mobility maintenance rather than a recovery miracle. Key takeaways from the study at the National Institute of Health: stretching after exercise did not significantly improve the recovery of muscle strength compared with passive recovery or rest or other control conditions. The evidence showed little or no reduction in muscle soreness during the hours and days following exercise. Even when small differences were observed, they were generally too small to be considered practically meaningful. Stretching may help maintain or slightly improve flexibility after exercise, but the evidence was limited and inconsistent. Any benefits appeared modest. The authors noted that many of the included studies were small and varied in their stretching protocols, making it difficult to draw strong conclusions about the optimal type, duration, or intensity of stretching. What's the practical conclusion? For people whose primary goal is faster recovery, less soreness, or quicker return of strength, post exercise stretching does not appear to be an effective recovery strategy on its own. However, stretching may still have value for maintaining flexibility, improving perceived muscle looseness, supporting activities that require greater range of motion, and personal enjoyment or relaxation after exercise. The authors suggest that athletes and exercisers should not rely on stretching as a primary recovery tool and may achieve greater recovery benefits from other strategies depending on their goals. So, listeners, stretching after exercise is unlikely to significantly reduce soreness or speed muscle recovery, but it may help maintain flexibility and can be a comfortable way to transition out of a workout. From harvard.edu, where to start? With a body full of muscles, the idea of daily stretching may seem overwhelming. It's most important to focus on the body areas critical for mobility: your lower extremities, your calves, your hamstrings, hip flexors in the pelvis, and quadriceps in the front of the thigh. Stretching your shoulders, neck, and lower back is also beneficial. Aim for a program of daily stretches or at least 3 or 4 times per week. A physical therapist can assess your muscle strength and tailor a stretching program to fit your needs. Stretching the muscles before they're warmed up can actually hurt them. When everything is cold, the fibers aren't prepared and may be damaged. If you exercise first, you'll get blood flow to the area that makes the tissue more pliable and amenable to change. All it takes to warm up the muscles before stretching is 5 to 10 minutes of light activity, such as a quick walk. You can also stretch after an aerobic or weight training workout. Stretching once today won't magically give you perfect flexibility. You'll need to do it over time and remain committed to the process. It may have taken you many months to get tight muscles, so you're not going to be perfectly flexible after only a few sessions. It takes weeks to months to get flexible, and you'll have to continue working on it to maintain it. So, listeners, while stretching is not a magic solution for soreness, stretching after a walk can help to maintain flexibility because as we age, muscles and connective tissues naturally become less flexible. Regular stretching helps maintain mobility in your hips, ankles, hamstrings, and calves, areas which are especially important for walkers. And according to mayoclinic.org, better flexibility may improve your performance in physical activities, decrease your risk of injuries, help your joints move through their full range of motion, increase muscle blood flow, enable your muscles to work more effectively, and improve your ability to do daily activities. Stretching after a walk also improves posture. Many people spend hours sitting each day. Walking helps to counteract inactivity, but stretching can further address tight areas such as hip flexors, chest muscles, and lower back. Improved mobility can support better posture during walking and everyday activities. Stretching also supports healthy movement patterns. Tight muscles can sometimes limit movement efficiency. Stretching may help maintain comfortable movement through a full range of motion. This becomes especially important for hikers, distance walkers, and older adults. Stretching also creates a mindful cool down. One overlooked benefit of stretching is the opportunity to slow down. A few minutes of gentle stretching can lower your heart rate gradually, encourage relaxation, and provide a moment of mindfulness. For many walkers, this becomes a valuable mental health practice. So, what are the best stretches for walkers? If you search online or talk with physical therapists, trainers, or mobility experts, you'll find countless opinions about the best stretches for walkers. The reality is that there's no single perfect stretching routine that works for everyone. The best stretches are often the ones that target the muscles you use most during walking and address any areas where you personally tend to feel tight or stiff. With that in mind, here are some of the most commonly recommended stretches for walkers, simple movements that can help maintain flexibility and mobility in the muscles that work hardest when you put one foot in front of the other. Number one, calf stretch. It targets the calves and the Achilles tendon and is especially useful after hills or longer walks. Number two, hamstring stretch, which targets the back of the thighs and can help maintain flexibility needed for efficient walking. Number three, quadriceps stretch, which targets the front of the thighs and are helpful for walkers who tackle hills or stairs. Hip flexor stretch, which targets the front of the hips, particularly important for people who spend much of the day sitting. And last but not least, the figure four glute stretch, which targets the glutes and outer hips and can feel especially good after longer walks. And how much stretching is enough? A simple routine of 5 to 10 minutes, 3 to 5 stretches, holding 20 to 30 seconds per stretch is often enough for most recreational walkers. But as always, consistency matters more than duration. Now, quickly, before we wrap up, listeners, I want to tell you about a special opportunity from Dr. Sandra Hamilton, also known as the Confidence Builder, who joined me recently on the podcast. If you're navigating menopause or know someone who does, and looking for support, guidance, and a chance to reconnect with yourself, Dr. Hamilton is hosting a 4-day immersive menopause retreat designed to help women move through this stage of life with greater confidence, clarity, and community. The 4-day, 3-night retreat at Frenchman's Cove at the edge of the Caribbean Sea in Jamaica combines expert guidance, personal growth, and practical strategies to help you thrive, not just survive, menopause. To learn more about the retreat and reserve your spot, visit drhtheconfidencebuilder.com. That's drhtheconfidencebuilder.com. So listeners, walking is one of the most powerful things you can do for your physical and mental health. Stretching afterward won't turn you into a yoga master or eliminate every ache and pain, but it can help maintain flexibility, support mobility, encourage relaxation, and create a healthy transition from exercise back into daily life. A walk gets you moving. A few minutes of stretching helps keep you moving well. And that's something worth making time for. After your next walk, spend just 5 minutes stretching your calves, hamstrings, hips, and quadriceps. Notice how your body feels. I'd love to hear about your experience. Remember, you can share your walking story or your stretching story at whywalkingmatters.com. Just click on Share Your Walking Story. And if you've enjoyed this episode, be kind, share with a friend. You can also subscribe to whywalkingmatters.com for reminders in your inbox. And you can check out my walking adventures and my Instagram page, why_walking_matters. Until next time, listeners, happy walking.